What's up, guys? Ivan here with getivan.com, and today we have another episode in my Scrapebox and web scraping tutorials. We're going to be talking about creating location-based keyword associations with your data. Um, and if you don't know what I mean, I'm talking about being able to see the search term used for the URL at the end of job compilation. So it's kind of tricky. Scrapebox is not really intuitive in terms of doing that, so you kind of got to do a lot of manual handling to get to that point. The predecessor of this video is how to use Scrapebox for precise local data in my playlist. So check that out. It's a different topic. It's more about precise local data. This is this in this little example, we'll be using local data, and I'll be showing you guys how useful it is for local scrapes to be able to do a keyword-oriented association back to the final data set. So let's dive into it. In the blue server, I've been doing a number of tests, and I think I've got it figured out. So make sure to speed this up to 1.5 so we can get through it quickly. But let me grab this email file, and we will do a neat little case study here. The example I'm using is for plumbers and the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I've got some location-based permutations, and it's just a small number of locations, just like 59 keywords. So really tiny example just to get this done quickly. But what you want to do, and you guys might be aware of this feature, but I've been aware of it for a while, but haven't really messed with it because data association is so tricky. It's not really as directly useful as you might expect it to be. But if you go to settings and connections and then more harvester settings, you can check off this option for save additionally keywords with URLs. And that's what you need to turn on so that when you collect your URLs, it will also give you a keyword file. Now, excuse me, once you click start harvesting for your job, it'll do its thing and it'll return your URLs that look like this. But you have to go into your Scrapebox folder into harvester sessions, and it'll be labeled like this, kw_URL. So you got to grab that file, and then when you open it up, you'll see the keyword with the piping symbol and the URL. And so obviously this is useful, especially for local, because it can allow you to see, where certain results might be ranking based on queries. Now, obviously, when you're doing things at a very large scale, you're going to be using Yahoo, so it's not like useful from an SEO standpoint so much, but it's useful from, just the standpoint of getting a general idea about if you're dealing with a large amount of data, getting a general idea about where that particular site is ranking in terms of location. So it's another way of pinpointing locally relevant results. But as you'll see in the previous video that I did, if you're not doing either on page for locations, or especially the most precise local identifier is the address, then you're still going to have things that are not accurate, like things that are not local to a local query rank all the time. So, and that's the case with all the search engines, so Bing, Google, everybody. But still, if you want to get a lot of data at scale, this is a useful little technique, I guess you could say. So in order to do this, though, what we need to do is, I've tried experimenting with doing this inside of Scrapebox, just handling the data, but the problem is that there are multiple rankings for sites, and inexplicably so. Like, you've got Plumbers Granbury, Texas, and then you've got the same website. And sometimes if there's a trailing slash or no trailing slash, they'll record it as two different sites. Or if there's HTTP or HTTPS, it's two different sites. In this case, we have the same query, but then we have the exact same URL duplicating itself into the sample. So that's what makes it really difficult to handle inside of Scrapebox, because we can throw this in here and remove by duplicate URLs, and we can even like separate the data, clean up the URLs independently. But the problem is, if we try to associate with the original keyword sample with the URLs, it won't work because the duplications are present. So in order to handle keyword oriented URLs properly, the only solution is to take those into an Excel environment and to delimit them and then scrub for duplicates in the column. So let's do that first. Let's open it up in my, I'm going to just paste this into my folder, change this to .csv, and open this up in Excel. And then we just need to delimit this data. I should have done that in with just find and replace it a second ago. It's easier to do it that way. With this piping symbol. Oops, what did I do? Piping symbol, finish. And once it's split apart like that, can just add another column up there to handle the data. Select the whole sheet, go to remove duplicates, and then we'll go unselect all, and we want to remove duplicates by column B because that's the URLs. So yeah, okay. So all of those have been removed. And actually, we probably want, now some of you guys might want to remove directory listings. So I'm trying to think if it's a problem. Like I'm actually might be getting ahead of myself, because it might be something that can only be done kind of at the end of the road. But let me think. Let's not modify the URLs by dropping them down. Let's just handle them as they are. And I understand at times you might want to mess with your URLs, but the problem is that with this particular method, you've got keyword associations to a specific set of URLs. So if you try to go and drop your URLs down, like, you could do that. You could just take the URLs that are here, drop them to the domain level, and then scrub for duplicates, and then copy paste the associations back to the keyword oriented file. You could do that. Not sure if we need to do that at the moment. I don't think so. So let's go ahead and save this as, what is this, a CSV? Let's just save it as it is, and then we'll close this, copy this back over to the server, and let me find replace. Oh, I guess it's not a duplicate. Change it back to .text because Scrapebox can't handle CSVs. And so let me click into this, and oh, you know what? I thought that it would save a delimiter, so that's odd. Let's just go ahead and select this space, Control H, replace with comma, and actually, do we want to do a comma? Yes, we do. Replace all. And cancel, save. And then we'll go up here just to make sure. Yeah, 1107. Pardon me. So that is good to go. And then basically we want to split apart. Give me one moment. We want to split apart these keywords from the URLs so that we can handle the URLs independently. So remove everything before the comma. And then we'll copy these over into a temporary file and remove the comma. replace all, save those, copy, paste, and just to make sure, remove all duplicates. Yeah, it's good to go. And this is what makes it tricky, is everything has to be, oh, looks like we got the URLs, some of the URLs in quotes. That's not good. So, that's odd. It shouldn't have saved oddly like that. Well, just keep that in mind if you're saving from Excel. Maybe it's just the way that I uploaded it or something, or delimited it within the file. Like, I rarely have this problem. But anyways, select your quote, Control H, replace all. You want to make sure there's no quotes in there like that, because that'll throw an error. And then let's remove. Okay, so it looks pretty good. So that's saved. Actually, I'm going to copy this over here. Now, oftentimes in a job, I will remove trailing slashes. And in this case, we don't want to do that because our keyword associations contain the trailing slashes over here. And so if you removed them if you took those URLs from the Excel file and you cleaned them up in Scrapebox, trimmed them to domain, or decided to trim trailing slashes and then copy pasted them back over, and they all matched, then that would probably be fine. In this case, I didn't do it, so we need to make sure that we stay consistent. So this is good to go, and actually what I'll do here is I'll rerun this scrape. So let's go to grab emails, and hit the go button, because I think I handled the URLs a little bit differently that time than a second ago. So this will only take about a minute, so let me skip ahead to that. Okay, so this is finished. Let me grab the email file here and close this out. Let me go ahead and label this URL email. And so now let's see what this looks like here with our piping. We've got our keywords. So I think what we want to do is throw this into an Excel sheet and then scrub the column so that we don't have duplicate URLs. Because with any given, variated field, one page obviously can have multiple mails, and there's glitches like this where apparently those are different locations. Okay, but one page can have multiple mails. One page could have one email and 10 phone numbers. So in order to get fields to line up, we have to destroy data, and it could be that you have one set of data where you're like, okay, I'm not going to destroy any of this data. And then you have a similar set of data based on the same source where you're like, okay, I'm going to remove all the duplicates of the URLs so that I can topically see the locations, and then use this as like a frame of reference, and then use this as like your blast kit or whatever. So that's one way you could do it if you wanted to use this method. So let's take that file and head on over to the desktop and change this to CSV. And I forgot to change the formatting again. Let me do this outside the file because it seems to work better. Let's open this with Notepad. Change the piping to comma. Yeah. Okay, sorry, is that period? Comma. Yeah. Replace all. And it's a lot easier to do this than to import it through Excel, because, well, typically Excel is supposed to be smart, but in this strange case, it was not smart. So let's delimit the data by the comma, finish. Something strange going on there. Not sure why that happened. Anyways, so let's go select the sheet, remove duplicates. Data does not have headers in this case, so we'll just deselect and then go. Hold on a second. There shouldn't be anything in column C. Okay, let's close this. Something funny going on here. We tried deleting this and coming back to the original file. There should not be commas in slugs. Something strange going on there. Let's just try it with the piping symbol. I've literally never seen that problem before, and that's really strange. So let's do delimited. Let's go other piping, finish, and select the sheet, remove duplicates. Okay, that's good. Column B, we want to remove by column B, okay. And that removed a little bit. And then we also want to remove, well, we don't need to remove by column A. Obviously, some of those have the same destination, so we don't really need to hit those. Yeah, we'll go ahead and remove by column A. Just common sense. Column A. All right. So now we can work on matching this sample with the keywords. I'm going to just add filtering thing because I want to do this from A to Z. And let's go ahead and Control-Shift down arrow on these URLs. And then come back over to the server. I'm going to save these in this file because I don't quite know where to put them yet. How many are here? 132 lines, so we lost a ton of data there, but that's pretty common. About 10%, you get about 10% on average males from your sample. So well, 10 to 30% depending, and we did some cleaning there, so it counts for something. So now we need to figure out. Okay, we got this URL sample for. Excuse me. We got this keyword URL. This is the original one. This is the one we just did URLs. That's 1108. 1108. That's counting the space of the line break at the bottom. So now we need to associate the keywords. So we should be able to just throw the keywords in and go remove URLs not containing entries from Blue server where we saved that. So that's 132. This is 132. Awesome, they match. So then we just need to, we can't sort it like this. So we actually have to save this. Oh shoot, there's commas in there. Oh man, I hope that doesn't cause a problem because we saw a weird comma glitch a second ago. Oh shoot. Well, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't cause a. Anyways, let's move on. I'm getting starting to think about it too much here. Let's go URL KW final, and let's copy this over to a folder, and then I guess we'll just open this up, the CSV and sort it from A to Z on the URLs. It's literally like the simplest thing that Scrapebox cannot do, and we're over here connecting this ball of string together. I know it's silly, but what other choice do we have? So let's add a little column up here so that we can, or a row, so that we can add some, add some filtering, and then sort this from A to Z. All right. Now we should be able to just, I want to make sure there's nothing in this C column. Okay, good. We should be able to, there's just a weird glitch with that other URL sample. Should be able to just select the keywords and go Control Shift down arrow, copy, and then go URL email file, and make another column here, and go boom. And let's see. Let's just manually verify. 24-hour plumber, Irving Plumbing, Plumber Addison. 24-hour plumber, Irving Plumber Addison. Yeah, Arlington, Irving Addison. Awesome. Looks right. So let's see. 132, 132. All right. Victory. And it only took forever. But hey, it's a method, right? It's a way to do something. And then label this stuff up here. URL, keyword. All right. Get ourselves some formatting. And freeze the row. Now it's looking fancy. Let me just take a step back and take stock of this. Awesome. And of course, if you wanted to refine this here, you could leave the keyword if you have many different types of keywords with locational permutations. But if you wanted to drop the keyword, you could do that easily by just taking this and putting this into a text file, doing a find replace for plumbers. You get the idea. If you had variated keywords, it would be a lot more difficult to clean those, but you could figure out a way to clean them from the if you wanted to separate them, for example, it would be tough to do that. But what I would maybe do is you could drop texts from the end, and then that way you'd have one space, and you could replace the space, and then you could go, well, you could just say everything before the space gets killed, and then you could post fix it with Texas later on. Now if you had different states, you're on your own. No, a complicated thing to figure out for another time, but that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate you watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and look forward to catching you in the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.